Good morning. My name is Jay Rosenthal, and I'm the Managing Director of Business of Cannabis. Welcome back to the Cannabis Daily show for Tuesday, February 15th. Since 2017, we've highlighted the companies, brands, people, and trends driving the cannabis industry, and we'd love to hear from you in the comments below. As always, feel free to visit us at businessofcannabis.com as well as through all of our social channels, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. And please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're not watching this on YouTube, please head over there and subscribe. It means a lot. A few announcements. On February 24th, we'll be convening our February retail series with a focus on the new guidance from regulators on the relationship between brands and retailers in Ontario. On March 10th, B of C New York sessions will descend again into Brooklyn. We'll be talking about connecting social equity licensees with capital. That's presented by Leafly and Vicente Sederberg. On April 6th, we'll be in Miami for Business of Cannabis Miami for a showcase and some deep dives into cannabis retail tech, design, and data. Links to all that below in the description. For today's stories, legal cannabis state hosts the Super Bowl for the first time. Cannabis Daily spend per consumer in BC right now. Representative Ed Perlmutter wants safe baking to be a legalization icebreaker. Multi-packs of pre-rolls are Canadian crowd pleaser. That's according to Headset. And EU stock update. For our first story, while exactly 0 people were surprised to learn that Snoop Dogg smoked weed before his halftime performance alongside Dr. Dre, Eminem, and more, it is the first time that a legal cannabis state played host to the Super Bowl. This, according to USA Today. Some fun facts. There are 2 licensed dispensaries within 2 miles of SoFi Stadium, where the Super Bowl was played, and there are 200 licensed dispensaries in LA County total. Retired NFL running back Ricky Williams used the event to relaunch his cannabis brand called Heisman and has a strain named after him called Sticky Ricky. Former NFLer Marshawn Lynch of Doty appeared in ads for dispensary Gorilla RX. While Willie Nelson winked and nodded to the cannabis legalization in his Skechers ad, and we remember the story from last week where Weedmaps wasn't allowed to run their Super Bowl ad during the game. Now, while cannabis and the NFL have come a long way, cannabis is still on the list of restricted substances, and there were no cannabis ads allowed to air during the event, as we said. But still, quote, it's pretty special. That, according to Marie Saint-Fleur, acting executive director and CEO of the National Association of Cannabis Businesses, quote, even though the NFL has elected not to allow us to have a role at all in the Super Bowl, it's still pretty exciting. Well, it did have a role to play in many people's Super Bowl, including in my house. For our second story, each week, Business of Cannabis delivers a series of insights from our partners at Cannabis Benchmarks. This week, Cannabis Benchmarks explored the state of British Columbia's cannabis market. Specifically, cannabis retail sales in the province are not as large as one might expect due to the continued and large and growing presence, potentially, of the illicit cannabis trade. You can check out the full briefing on our website at businessofcannabis.com. For our third story, the dogged sponsor of the Safe Banking Act, Lame Duck Representative Ed Perlmutter, told Yahoo Finance that he thinks the bill would make it through the Senate in a story. This is in a story published on Saturday. Now, here's the history. Safe Banking's passed the House a number of times. I think it's been 6. And early on, the Senate Banking Committee chair, was Senator Mike Crapo, Republican, said it was too broad and raised concerns about THC potency and money laundering risks. But now, the greatest opponents, or the ones holding it up, are fellow Democrats, such as Senator Schumer, Senator Booker, and Senator Wyden, who say the banking focus is just too narrow and doesn't include social equity or social justice. Now, Perlmutter says he too supports broad legalization and hopes safe banking can, quote, break the ice towards full federal reform. Quote, we need to get something passed and on to the president this year. Amen. For our fourth story, Headset's latest report looks at the growing interest in multi-packs of pre-rolls in Canada, which accounted for 79% of pre-roll units sold in 2021. Now, notably, they make up just 25% of pre-roll sales in the U.S. Now, here are some numbers. In Canada, women buy more multi-pack pre-rolls than men, and interest continues to grow with age. Now, 3-packs are the most popular size, accounting for 36% of the multi-pack sales in Canada, followed by 10-packs at 27%. You can see the full story on Headset's website. Finally, our last story, EU cannabis stocks. Israel Intercure jumped almost 11% on the stock market this past week after reporting its preliminary Q4 2021 results, that according to Business Can. Some other results. Ananda Developments dipped on the Akis stock exchange by more than 11%. Canovum saw a nice boost since Germany's adult use announcement, but tumbled after announcing its own new medical education platform. And Yuma Wellness has also gone down by about 15% this past week. And we've talked about Chill Brands. They're still struggling after announcing their plans to distribute their products in the US that were delayed, and they've decreased about 30%, but appear to have stabilized. Those are the stories we're watching today. Join 10,000 others and catch all these stories and more in your inbox every day at 7 a.m. Eastern with our Cannabis Daily newsletter. That was episode 28 of Cannabis Daily. Thank you for joining us on YouTube or wherever you saw this. And please do subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow.